guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Carmen Alexis here, and I have a special video for you guys. So I am having my very first Instagram live interview with me as a special guest about my acting career. I'm super excited about this. I'm honored. We are jumping in the game, according to the title. Yeah, we're gonna talk all things acting. We're gonna talk my career, my journey, motivation, acting advice, tips, set etiquette, set life. What is it really like to be an actor? I'm gonna do my best to drop some gems on how to be successful at this. You know, how to stay passionate, how to keep going, honestly, because it is not an easy feat. You know, be honest, be open, be transparent, give the real deal, the real spiel, so that, you know what I mean, I can kind of leave the door open a little wider for the next actor that's coming in. I can't believe this is happening. Definitely a great way to end the year. Listen, watch, look how God is providing all these different things in my life.
She's fucking busy.
We got content coming. I'm grateful as well. But before we get any further, if you have not already, I want you to stop what you are doing. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, because y'all know the drill. I got new vlogs coming every Sunday. We will be dropping good content, the stuff that you need, the stuff that's gonna touch you here. It's gonna touch you here and it's gonna touch you here. So subscribe to the channel, tell a friend to tell a friend that I got the good stuff coming, and I'm gonna keep it coming. So join the gang. I want to see everybody win, period. Like Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black. But I'm also rooting for everybody in general, but I'm also rooting for everybody black too. Alright, let's get into it, y'all. I'm excited. Alright, so he said when you go live, you can call in. Now listen, I'm good on Instagram, but I really don't go live that often. So I hope this turns... That hurt. Can you guys see that? It says jump in the game. Well, yeah, jump in the game, live interviews. That's my headshot right there. Shout out to Megan for a bomb headshot. That's got me a lot of work. This week's special guest, actress Carmen Alexis.
That's so cool.
This is my first on-camera interview of me, like as Carmen Alexis, not Carmen Alexis interviewing blah blah. Yay! So you gotta be hearing me. The person interviewing me is a male, and then he's supposed to have a co-host who I think is a female. Here we go, you guys. Show you.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys say what's up to my YouTube channel? Because I'm recording as well.
Okay. Hey, what's going on?
YouTube family.
I know.
Live. You were coming.
Oh snap, some people done joined.
They joined.
Okay, this is up. Oh, Taylor says I'm excited for this live too. Congratulations. Thank you.
So, welcome everyone to Jump in the Game.
Yes.
Yeah, calm and tell the people about yourself and what do you do, and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. So what's up, guys? My name is Carmen Alexis. I am born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, we do exist. I feel like when you say that nowadays, people are like, what? Are you from here? Like, you really from Atlanta? I'm like, yeah. What
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're here. We're bred here. Of course we're here. How I normally like to talk about myself, right? Because I get that question all the time. And the quickest answer that I give is entrepreneur. And then if they want to know more, then I kind of go into the multi-hyphenates, because I do a bunch of everything, you know what I mean? So I'm an actor, I'm self-employed, I have my own self-taping service called Self Tapes with Carmen Alexis, where I act as an acting coach, putting other actors on tape for their auditions. I do private coaching sessions. I'm a model, I'm a host, I'm a voiceover artist, content creator, YouTuber, a little some of everything, honestly.
Literally, you do it all.
You know what? I do. And it's crazy because I think when people hear that, they're like, whoa, that's a lot. And I'm like, I guess if I step outside of myself, yes, it is a lot. But to be completely honest with you, that's how I've always wanted it to be. I never saw myself as being one thing. Person who has always been inspired, driven from a multitude of areas. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna do it all then. And that's just kind of been my mindset. And you know, to this day, I'm still kind of pushing down that lane.
I'm glad that you said that. It's just funny that people sort of restrict us.
Yeah.
You should just do one thing. You know?
Yeah.
as if that were normal.
For sure, but you know what? And I've kind of thought a little deeper into that, and this is my 2 cents on the matter. I feel like your youth is where you're truly allowed to dream in the biggest way. As a child, you know, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a doctor and an astronaut and a firefighter. And you know, your teachers or your parents are like, yeah, you won't do that, girl. But I think once you get older, reality kind of sets in, and status quos or what's normal people's impressions and opinions supersede our own at times. You know, and I think that's to a negative degree, that we allow peer pressure or whatever it may be to supersede and be louder than my own voice. And that's something that I've been very adamant about since I was young. I don't know, as you can tell, I'm young, but I'm a very old soul. And so, and I've almost always been like goal orientated and goal sighted and purpose driven from a child. So I guess that's where sometimes I sound older than I really am. But I've always been very adamant about, this is your life, right? So you must live your life for you. Otherwise, what's the point? When I made the decision to really, you know, say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be an actor. You know, I'm gonna be an entertainer. That was in high school, kid you not. About my high school career, now I knew I was gonna do that, right? But obviously, you know, I've still gotta listen to my parents, all this type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. How can I get what I really want? So I took summer courses for 2 years straight over the summer so that I get my credits early. And I intended to graduate early from Grady High School. It's now called Midtown High. APS did not allow that. So I was like, dang, okay, well, let me think, what's the next best bet? So then I went to college early. So I had 2 years of college credits while everybody else was a junior. Mind you, I had offers at UGA for the honors program in addition to Spelman, and I had scholarships that I turned down, and I wrote letters and gave back the money. And I was like, yeah, mom and dad, I want to do this actor thing, you know? And they're like, okay, Carmen, you sure? I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And they're like, okay, well, you got 2 years of college credits already. So we'll let you go and pursue this for those 2 years. If you don't make something happen in there, then you're going back to school. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fair, right?
What was the first step in that process when they gave you go ahead? What was the first step?
The first step was to get representation. At that point, I needed to get actual roles, not just in the background, because I want to be the main thing. Listen, I bust my butt to get representation. I reached out to every agency that was available for me to find. I was lucky enough to go ahead and nab a contract with the agency, and from there, I went out on some auditions, and I've, you know, gone through different phases, you know, where, okay, you get auditions, but you don't, or, you know, I've even gone through the phase where you don't get auditions, but I'm here, I'm available, right? I got the headshots. Then you get the auditions, but then you never hear anything. Then you start hearing something, but you don't actually book the job. Then you start hearing maybes, or, oh, yep, you're in the running, or you're our favorite, you're pinned, you got an avail check, right? Or you're on hold. But then, or you book it and they say, oh, you know what, casting decided to go into another direction. I've gone through every single phase possible. In that 2-year frame, I was able to book a pilot called Castle Ridge. It was like a high school show. I was playing one of the, you know, the popular high school girls that got outed, and then I have a confrontation with the lead popular girl in gym.
You were still a teenager, right?
Yeah, so yeah, this was right out of high school, so I was probably 19, I think. The show did not get picked up. It didn't get picked up from networks, but it was enough to show my parents that, hey, she got something, you know? My parents went to the set actually with me. They both were there while I was filming, which was pretty cool. I also was able to put it on my resume.
What did you learn or gain from having to go through each of those different phases?
Ah, man, that's such a great question. You know what? The phases are what I like to refer to as the test of time.
I like how you just said it was like a serious origin.
Thank you. You know what? You know, a lot of what you see, a lot of what you hear is no other than him. You know, I've always been purpose driven. I'm like, well, use me, let the right words come out, you know, let me be able to endure and persevere and overcome for the benefit of others as an example. And that's another thing too, and I will tell you, as into your question, those phases, it's the test of time. And if you're strong enough to endure the test of time, then you can succeed. A test of faith, and it's a test of belief, of conviction. God will test you to make sure you are about what you pray about. You say you love it, how much? You say you love it, for how long will you love it?
For how long? Because there's no guarantee it's going to be 2 months, 2 weeks.
No, and you know what?
It might be 13, 14
Oh,
years.
listen, I look young, but I got a little age on me now, you know what I'm saying? And I just knew, thank you, Black Don't Crack, period.
How did it come about to get that far, and how did you prepare for the character? And can you explain a little bit about the character that you played on
The show. That audition came from my agents. I'm with Houghton Talent. Love them. Shout out to Houghton. Give you a little backstory. So I booked the final season. However, I have auditioned since season 1, and I have consistently not gotten the job. Again, and again, and again, for 4 seasons straight. You can get to a point where you're like, oh, you know, I audition for them all the time. They don't never book me, so I'm not doing it no more. Send me something else. I don't want to do it, right? It's very easy for you to kind of get beside yourself. But what you have to understand, and what I have come to learn, once again, like I said, kind of seeing something from a different point of view, right? So anytime that you get an audition from the same casting director more than one time, that is your feedback. You have something, you're good, they like what you're doing, keep doing it. It just means that they simply have not found the right fit yet. So it's not no that you're receiving not right now. We're artists, right? Sensitive. It's all us, right? I'm giving you me, you know? That's what we feel like. So how can you deny me? You're rejecting me. No, they're not rejecting you. So now back to present day. I got an audition for Atlanta. I'm like, okay, cool. I already know the casting directors, which is Feldstein and Paris. Shout out to them because they booked me for some things. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Looking out for the kid. I love that. Actually auditioned for it twice. Kid you not. Twice for that same season. Back to back. This was at a time when I was super busy. I was slammed. Like I was auditioning season regulars, back and forth for leading roles, back and forth. I had callbacks back and forth. And I mean, honestly, I wasn't even eating like properly during that time period. I was getting maybe 2-3 hours of sleep, then waking back up, got to do another 8-page audition. Then they want another one the next day, less than 12 hours again for 10 pages. Then they'll up it to 12, back to back to back. That's how the audition grind is. So I got the one for Atlanta. I was like, what they say? Who am I? I was like, okay, bet. I'm like, this is a comedy. All right, cool. All right, let's run this real quick, and then I gotta get back to the other stuff. So that's how it was. Because the show is a comedy, and I love comedy. I really love comedy. I love improv. That's so fun, and I love when I get to do it. The role was for a tour guide, and it presented on page of 2 lines. That's it. Real short, and I'm like, okay, cool. Because I got this 10-pager that I need to get back to, so let me squeeze this in and then get back to the big work, right? But because I believe that the same energy, the same prep, the same work that you do for a leading role, you have to do that for a small role. You cannot pick and choose when you do the work. Character analysis, you do the script analysis, you look up the director, you know, and look at their style of shooting. You look at the network. Do you know what this network signature style is? Because every network has one. Some networks are very understated. Some, like the CW, right? A show on the CW is all about the facial reactions. Their facial reactions are very keen, right? So you have to know that. Do you really want to be an actor? Do you study? Like, what type of work are you doing? Not all work is involved in the classroom. You, as the actor, must know who you are as the character. If you do not know, you are not going to book that. Because what you're doing is a surface level performance. Even at the bare minimum, if I'm playing a waitress, that waitress has a life. She's working at this diner for purpose. Do you care enough to make this person a real person? Because every person's life deserves to be displayed on screen, no matter what your occupation is.
Detailed, right? Very detailed.
Yeah, you gotta be nuanced, you gotta be detailed, because people in real life are detailed. The role is not waitress. Give her a name. If they didn't give you one, make it up. You say you're an artist, so create. If I see that there's gaps, we're gonna fill them in, because if we don't fill them in, then our performance is surface level. It's not gonna be honest, it's not gonna be true. People think, oh, the work is when I'm on set. No, that's the fun part.
That's the fun part.
The work is what I have to sit here and do with this, and this. Okay, she's like this, so, But, you know, or what's said that's not being said. What's said in the script that's not being said. What needs to be said that's not there.
Right, wow.
Because most times, casting does not know what they want until you show it to them. And if you don't show them anything but the script, if all you say is what's on this paper, you will not book it. They wrote it. Like, they know what's on there. They gave it to you. So how dare you give them the paper back? They gave it to you because you're an artist, so you're gonna turn this colorful. This is black and white. You're supposed to make it colorful. Back to the Atlanta, right? Because like I said, it was 2 lines. If I just threw it away, because she's a tour guide, and you know, I just said 2 lines, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just say the lines. All right, start, stop, and I said the lines. Then I was doing myself a disservice, and I was doing her a disservice. So what I did when I got the script, I was like, okay, bet, this is a comedy. I'm familiar with the show. So she's the girl that is the best tour guide on the block. Out of the whole entire company, she's that girl. So she's the lead. I even train the other tour guides that come on. So I would love to throw in some jokes in there and to make her really outgoing and that person that you look to as the ideal tour guide. I did one take where I improv just a little bit, but not too over the top. And then on the second one, I threw it away and I said, they say she says this, I say she says this. They say she does this, well, I say she does this. And normally, I lead with the second take. Lead with the bold. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, most actors are gonna play it safe and just do what's on the page. So I wanna stand out when I send my tape in to casting. So I'm basically showing you that I can follow direction, but then I'm also an artist. So in between that, you have no reason to not book me for the role. Months later, I got the email that I booked it. I'm like, what? What y'all talking about? I went on there and I was like, I didn't even remember doing it. I had to pull up my audition and watch what I did. I swear to God, I did not even remember it.
Wow.
That's how busy I was.
And the framework of perseverance.
Yeah. You know what? I saw an interview from Michael B. Jordan a couple of years back. Once you go in for the audition, this is back when we were still in person, you know, in the room. Now everything's digital with the self-tape. But he said after he does the audition, he rips up the page and he throws it in the trash can and he moves on to the next thing. Because even sometimes, like, keeping the script, now this was kept because I use this as a prop, so it's not for that reason. Sometimes even keeping the audition, it keeps you stuck on what you did. You gotta get to a place where it's like, hey, I did my job, I did it my way, I did the story service, and I was an artist today. And you gotta pat yourself on the back and say good job and move on to the next thing. Do it, throw it away.
Setting up those little psychological triggers that help you keep moving forward.
What are you doing now? Tell the audience.
Um,
Right now, what's your focus now at this time?
That's a great question. My focus now, in a understated way, is me. It's on my brand. I'm a very creative person. I've always had a multitude of interests, but I'll be very honest that I've been selling myself short in terms of waiting until I quote unquote make it to a certain status to dive into other areas that I've always been interested in.
It's due to the fact that you really have subscribed to.
Subscribing to the notion of the arrival at the place, when really the arrival is no more than just an arrival. Like, you know, you get there, there's instant gratification, and then that dies off. The thing that matters the most and that carries the most weight from what I've learned is the journey, right? The going. That's the most commendable thing. That's the most beautiful thing. That's the most inspiring, is that you're the movement. Because when you arrive there, done to a certain degree, like you're there, it's been done, it's happened. So I think to always stay in the pursuit of something is what all artists should strive to do. You know, that pursuit is what drives us. The want or the longing to be better or to improve or to tap into this, to tap into that. So I'm no longer holding myself back in terms of creativity. So my YouTube channel, that's what I will be doing full out, full throttle for the foreseeable future. I believe that in honesty and in transparency is where you can affect the most people and ultimately like promote growth and change. So on my channel, I keep it realer than real. You'll see when I'm stressed out. You'll see when I'm not. I'm just gonna show the entire thing because my hope is that I let people know that if I can do it, who goes through the same type of real spectrum of emotions, then the next person can too.
I want to ask a question.
Oh.
Read a comment.
Someone says, are there people in the industry who inspire you aside from Will? LOL. Yes, there are. Will Smith is definitely one of the top though. I love Will Smith through and through. Let's see. I love Queen Latifah. I love her for the fact that, like we were talking about when we first started the interview, she's a multi-hyphenate as well, as is Will Smith. You know, and I think that might be something that I gravitate to in quote-unquote idols or whatever, the multi-hyphenates, because that's exactly what I plan on doing. She's done Broadway, she's done musicals, she's done acting in TV, acting in movies. Was the first ever black cover girl, ever. What I really love about her is that she's always been true to herself. Never changed. You know, Queen Latifah has that kind of grit to her and, you know, a little bit of like a tomboyish chic style at times when she wants to. And I love that she doesn't allow getting to certain places within the industry to cause her to change up who she is. She's like, no, take it or leave it. As I am, I'm good enough, or I'm valuable to walk into this room and to walk into this space and to accomplish that, regardless of what the status quo or what anybody else or my predecessors have done. She's dope. She has a great spirit and a great energy to herself. Her hair is always on fleek. I feel like she's just a true example of, like, you know, female mogul. The answers aren't even in here. You have to create the answers. Fill in the gaps. When I have a script, it's written all over it. Like I write and scribble and da-da-da-da because I have to make the story important. I have to fill it in and make it, you know, captivating. I have to make it enriching. You know what I mean? I have to do that. And if you simply play from a place of fear, or you play from a place of timidness, or if you play from a place of, I don't know, if they would just tell me what they want, I could do it, that day is not gonna come. They expect you to show it to them. And when you do, that is when you book. And when I got to that place where you just don't care and you be true to who you are, you know, and listen to your ideas and your instincts as an artist, and you just do it. And you do, but you also have to do the work. But when you get to that place when you don't care, that's when I'm like, book, bing, bing, bing.
I remember the first time when I started, I was like, woman dialogue. Do I supposed to hold my hand like this, or do I supposed to?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I supposed to do that when I say that? Am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Then I figured out. I do what I want to do.
Exactly.
How the character respond, that's how I respond.
Yeah, exactly. The character, the scene, the story is gonna go how you make it go. And you gotta be confident enough to do it your way, to send it off your way and say, hey, take it or leave it. But if you leave it, it's your bad, not mine. You have to have that much conviction in your artistry, and not questioning or doubting yourself and your instincts and what you've done.
On our way out of the door,
Okay.
What would you say to everyone who has to go out and face this world again today, tomorrow, what do you give to them to send them forth?
Great question, great question. What I would say, I understand you. I empathize with you. And to be quite honest, I am you. After this ends, life continues. I'm back to my to-do list, right? I'm back to the hustle and bustle. I'm back to the feeling and the knowing that there's always something else left to do. However, I urge people to take life in strides, understand that it doesn't all have to happen right away, understand that there really is no time limit. There really is no timeline. I've learned that, you know, my younger self, I had time limits. I had ages that I had to have this, and this. And then when I get to those places and, you know, certain things or certain successes or accomplishments happen later down the line, I'm like, oh, it makes sense why it didn't happen then. Because if it did, then I wouldn't have done this, and that. So I urge you to give yourself more grace. Give yourself more mercy. Marinate on the fact that your present is not permanent. Means there's always the possibility. If you're still alive and breathing today, in this moment, it can always get better. Anything that you have been through, good or bad, did not break you. And because you have survived the bad or the lows or the difficult periods, they no longer have a stronghold over you because you know what that is now. So now it can do nothing but improve and get better.
You are preaching.
Thank you. I love to say this one last thing too. In the end, it'll all work out. And if it hasn't yet, then it's not the end.
That's heavy. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
your wisdom, your knowledge.
It was so great talking to you guys.
It was a pleasure.
Honestly, this was,
Pleasure.
yes, this was super cool.
This is the community, you know?
Yeah,
We allow ourselves the space to be uniquely yourself
yeah.
and grow and just really own this journey.
Yeah, you know, and it makes it, you know, I really cherish these moments because life is so unpredictable. You never know where you're gonna go. We all have goals and like things that we feel like we're gonna make and get to that certain place in the future. But to be quite honest, no one knows if anything is gonna happen. I don't know if I will be here tomorrow. But moments like these, it makes me feel like I'm making a positive difference and I'm doing what God intended for me to do.
Without a doubt, Carmen, you absolutely are.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to do
You
much.
got it. No apology necessary. This is the space. This is the space for that.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna treasure this, and I think this is a great way to end the year off. You know, that I consider this a high note for sure. Listen, I know you guys said I dropped a bunch of stuff, but honestly, I don't think you quite realize that you guys have done that to me.
Thank you.
You guys have done that to me. You've done that for me, and I really appreciate it. I really do.
Everything is aligned.
Yes, yes. I believe that I was meant to get on with you guys today. I pray that, you know, the people watching have gotten something. If they got one little nugget, then I feel like we did our job.
They responded and they got a lot.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I wasn't able to read that much, but I'm grateful to hear that. That makes me happy. You know, like, if you want to call your girl back at any given moment, since we're people.
Let's do it. Let's do this again multiple times.
Okay.
Have these conversations.
The reason why I'm doing this has never been solely about myself. I want to reach certain, you know, levels of life and then go back down and be like, so this is this, y'all. Then hold on, I got this. All right, y'all, so this is this. I'm down for it. All y'all got to do is just let me know when and where, and we're going to make it happen. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, y'all. That's that. We have just officially wrapped the interview, and I gotta say, it was cool. It was dope. It was beautiful. It was healing. It was fulfilling, and a great way to spend my Sunday. I hope you guys got a lot of nuggets from that. I hope you got some gems, something that can, you know, fill the tank back up. Fill the tank back up. This definitely helped fill my tank. You know, I needed that. I just want to say thank you, God, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.